The six-piece album, better known as the self-titled album, was supposed to be released in 2002 as a joint venture between Priority Records and Universal Records. However, that did not happen as boy bands were on the decline by 2002. Boy bands were no longer the in thing by 2002, so unfortunately the album was shelved by Master P as this was his business decision and the album still remains unreleased to this day. Songs such as Wish for Love, My First, Anything, God Bless the Angels, A Little More, Once Upon a Time, Where Do Broken Hearts Go were recorded for their second album. Now, some of you may remember that their second album was advertised in Master P's 2001 album called Game Time and Lil Romeo's debut album back in 2001. The album has that early 2000 pop sound and vibe. One thing that is definite is that this album qualifies as pop. This is a great album for anyone who is a fan of pop music or is just a pop fan in general. This six-piece album is off the hook. Now, perhaps if Six Piece came out in an earlier decade and were fresh back in the day, they would have been on the same level as the Backstreet Boys, O-Town, NSYNC, New Kids on the Block, 98 Degrees, or Blackstreet. It was due to the fact of oversaturation of boy bands in the early turn of the 21st century that caused Six Piece to be overlooked. However, Six Piece managed to gain some charting hits thanks to radio play in the United States and Canada. For those who don't remember, Six Piece was an Atlanta, Georgia-based six-piece boy band back in the early 2000s and were signed to No Limit Records. Six Piece first established themselves in 1999 when they signed independently to Starworks Entertainment, working with producer Maurice Starr. Six Piece was the opening act for Lil Romeo on tour. They joined the first leg of the NSYNC's Celebrity Pop Tour, performing in coliseums nationally. They had performances with NSYNC, Alicia Keys, Jagged Edge, Trisha Yearwood, and many others. The members of Six Piece were Micah Petard, Bad Boy John Reynolds, Brandon Thompson, Bobby Ritchie, Kevin Swan, and Alejandro Rocafort, the sexy Puerto Rican. Six Piece was featured in Billboard magazine and so many other outlets during that time, such as newspapers and magazines. Kevin Swan stood out as the most memorable group member of Six Piece in his tenure. My First, My Last was their first single, which was the buzz single for their first and second album. The girlies went nuts when Six Piece performed My First, My Last live on stage with Lil Romeo. Everyone loved that song back in the day as it was a sweet love song, just pure and clean with no overhyped sexuality. No auto-tune was used at all, or hardly any auto-tune to be exact. My First, My Last is a great song, especially the remix version of it. Now, not too many people noticed, but My First, My Last was recorded while Six Piece was recording their first album, Phase 1, aka Phase I, on the date of October 25, 1999. Their first single was released nationwide in early 2000 and had reached number 3 on the pop charts on the Billboard. The message of My First, My Last is no matter how high or low, it's always important to be there for the one that you love. You think of that person both night and day. Wherever they are, that's where you will go. That's where you want to be. Once Upon a Time was recorded for their second album and for the Radio Disney Presents Mighty Music CD, which was given away at McDonald's restaurants in 2002. The CD that was part of the Mighty Kids meal. The song was distributed via a CD-ROM in a McDonald's Happy Meal promotion all over the United States. Dre Allen and Glenn Rubin wrote the song for Master P's boy band Six Piece in 2002. A music video was recorded for Once Upon a Time after the September 11 bombing and as a McDonald's promo. The song Once Upon a Time explains how it's hard to say goodbye and how memories can be cherished by a person for a lifetime. Lyrics to the chorus explain how it's hard to say goodbye and how memories can be cherished by a person for a lifetime. A wish for love and romance is prevalent on the Wish song. A wish to make love is what you desire. Everyone wishes for one more chance. A wish for all the above. The song is a sultry, sappy love song about love and romance, given the title, of course. Can't Let Go is about not being able to get over that one whom you truly love. No matter what you do, you just seem to can't let them go. You still love them. They are in every dream you have at night. You don't know what all this emotion means or the reasons why. You wake up in the dawn of morning just to contemplate about them. It's like that. Where Do Broken Hearts Go is a sad breakup song about broken hearts, of course. Now, nobody has ever heard this song because the song was never released to the public.